Senator John Fetterman is back home with his family this morning after he spent 2 days in a Washington, D.C. hospital. Doctors say the 53-year-old did not suffer another stroke. Fetterman was hospitalized on Wednesday after feeling lightheaded. The Pennsylvania lawmaker suffered a stroke on the campaign trail last year.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the newly elected senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, being in the hospital for 2 days and not really receiving much media coverage. Now, I'm not saying the media totally ignored him. They did cover it, but it's not really a big story. It's like, oh, he's in the hospital, no big deal. When he was released, it wasn't even a thing that was announced pretty widely. I had to search for it to kind of bury in the story. And I think the reason why they want to bury the story and not pay it that much attention is because we all knew from the beginning that he was not medically fit for office. Politics aside from him being a leftist, Democrat, whatever, politics aside, he should not have run. And I think they put out an article from somebody in the campaign, might have been the campaign manager, saying that the campaign itself probably permanently damaged him because remember, he suffered a stroke on the campaign trail. And then after that, they let him rest for like a day, basically, and put him right back out there. So, of course, that's going to not really help him too much. He should have been at the house resting, but they put him out there on the campaign trail and made him continue to run, although he doesn't know what's going on. He's hearing voices like the parents or the teachers from Peanuts, as this article right here says. You see the headline, Fetterman hears voices like the teachers in Peanuts after stroke. Struggles to adjust to Senate life. Although that's going on, they don't really care. They still put him out there. Now, before I go any further, let's look at a clip right here. This is going to be from CNN. And of course, all clips and videos will be in the description if you want to see and hear them without my commentary. But let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, we're going to begin with this news that's in overnight. John Fetterman rushed to a hospital. Doctors are making sure that he didn't suffer another stroke after he felt lightheaded.
Because that was the original thing. When he first got hospitalized, they were saying it could have been another stroke, or this, that, and a third. So that was the original story. But now they're saying that it was not a stroke. Now, I don't know what that was. You're just not really feeling well, so you go to get rushed to the hospital for 2 days. Interesting.
Fetterman survived a stroke last May while he was on the campaign trail, but he stayed in the race and ended up flipping Pennsylvania's crucial Senate seat for Democrats. Let's bring in now CNN's congressional correspondent Jessica Dean live on Capitol Hill. Jessica, what is going on? What's the latest on his condition?
Well, good morning. Let me catch everyone up to date. This news coming in just before midnight last night, so really developing overnight. We do know that Senator John Fetterman remained in a Washington, D.C. hospital overnight as they checked him out. The good news is his office is saying that there's no evidence.
So look, check it out. Here's the timeline. This is a very good graphic, CNN. So May 13th, 2022, checked into hospital on way to campaign event, suffered a stroke. And he won his primary on May 17th. May 22nd, he was released from the hospital. And then in August, he returned to the campaign trail. So June, July, maybe about 3 months, almost to the day, they put him right back out there. And that date, 13th to the 12th, that seems like 3 months exactly. It's like, okay, regardless of what's going on, you're going back out there in 3 months. So get ready for it. Okay. Now, he is clearly still suffering from the stroke. As I said, he's hearing voices like the characters, the teachers from Peanuts. Womp, womp, womp. He's hearing that when you talk to him. He can't really speak very well. He's not in a good space. And as a matter of fact, before I continue with that clip, let's just hear an example of how he sounds. This was 5 days before he was hospitalized, the most recent time, a day or two ago.
And we should all support replacing the lead pipes and ensuring that everyone has clean, safe, clean drinking water. And we should all...
Clearly, he's not right. Clearly, he's not all the way there. But let's continue with this video right here from CNN.
of a new stroke. Let me read you what they put out last night. They said toward the end of the Senate Democratic retreat, which was happening here in D.C., by the way, Senator John Fetterman began feeling lightheaded. He left and called his staff, who picked him up and drove him to the George Washington University Hospital. Initial tests did not show evidence of a new stroke, but doctors are running more tests, and John is remaining overnight for observation. And Don, as you mentioned, just to take everyone back to last spring, that's when he was running in the primary in Pennsylvania. He suffered that stroke. He was in the hospital for several days, longer than a week. That's actually when he won the nomination. He had a defibrillator put in, and it was something that was very noticeable on the trail as he recovered. He would talk about how he would miss words. He would slur words. He had those auditory processing issues, and we've seen him now up here on the Hill, of course.
So he was in hospital for 9 days, so over a week. Let's see. They said 2017 he was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation. And May 13th, 2022, suffers atrial fibrillation and cardiomyopathy. Doctors use thrombectomy to address clot. So is that when they cut you right here? I'm not really sure what that means. Y'all let me know in the comments. Also, 3-hour surgery to implant pacemaker with defibrillator. He's not well. He shouldn't be out there trying to be a senator.
I was following his campaign in Pennsylvania then. I've seen him now up on the Hill recently, and he has been coming and going as normal, but they do still use an iPad sometimes or technology to help him understand. But again, the bottom line here, guys, is that he will remain in the hospital as they run these continuous tests, that he was feeling lightheaded, but so far, no evidence of a new stroke, which is, of course, good news, and everyone wants to keep it that way.
Yes, we're going to continue to follow, and Jessica will be reporting. Thank you, Jessica.
Mm-hmm. And joining us now is Dr. Chris Purnell, a public health physician and a regent at large for the American College of Preventative Medicine. Good morning, doctor, and thank you so much for being here. I think the first question is...
Now, let's see if the doctor on CNN will keep it all the way real, because we can all see what's going on with Fetterman, that he's not well. He shouldn't be out there on the trail. I mean, he shouldn't be a senator, and he should not have been out there on the trail before he actually became a senator. So let's see what her take on the whole situation is, if it's going to be real or if it's going to be something that supports the leftist paradigm.
Is what does this lightheadedness that John Fetterman, Senator Fetterman, has reportedly experienced indicate? Is there a greater cause, given his medical past, for concern here, do you think?
Good morning, Caitlin. So it's very important for everyone to understand the prevention methods or steps that we can take to keep people safe and healthy. And that's being able to recognize the signs and the symptoms of a stroke. Those classically are things like sudden numbness, weakness in a particular part of the body. You may see a drooping. You're going to have sudden loss of memory or confusion and slurred speech. Lightheadedness is more of a general or vague symptom. It's not necessarily specific to a stroke, but it makes you want to ask questions, because in 1 in 4 persons, in people who have had a stroke, at least 1 in 4 of them have had a stroke previously. So you want to make sure he's not having something called a mini stroke or a TIA. There are lots of questions that can be answered. It's good to hear.
Now, that's not you going crazy. You're not having the Fetterman situation. Her audio is really bad. So I want you to know that the audio is very bad, and that's why she sounds kind of muffled. But to just address what she's saying so far, she's doing pretty well. You know, it could have been a TIA, little mini stroke. And also, if you had a stroke before, you're feeling lightheaded, they might want to say, hey, come on, let's go to the hospital and just make sure that you're good. And since you're a senator, there's a heightened level of awareness surrounding your health, especially since they know that you have health problems. You got a pacemaker, all kind of stuff. You have heart problems. And, something else. $1 million question that maybe nobody's really asked before. I'm not really sure if it has been asked. But does he have the vax? Does he have the vax? Is there any C-19 history? Because we know that affects your heart. You can have blood clots and whatnot. So I'd like to know the answer to that question to see if that could impact what he's going through right now.
That on initial tests and initial, most likely a CAT scan, that there was not evidence of having another stroke.
All right. So there's that. There is that. So your man Fetterman has just been released from the hospital after a couple days, and he's not well. We all know he's not well. He shouldn't be out there. I think the campaign damaged him more than it. If he would have had a stroke and then just went home, I think he'd be in better health than what he is right now. And you're a senator for what, 6 years? How is he going to really make it throughout the entire time. The Democratic Party, anybody that voted for him, knowing what he was going through, because be honest with you, a lot of people, a lot of your normies don't even know about who they're voting for. They see Democrat, they're going to vote Democrat. That's all they really know. They might know about the other guy. Oh, he's a Trump supporter. Okay, we're not going to vote for him. Let's vote for the other guy. Don't even know his medical history or his current situation. He just had a stroke recently and can't even understand what you're saying when you talk to him. They don't know about that part. They just go out there and vote blindly. But if you knew about his history and his current state of health and you voted for him anyway, shame on you. Shame on the Democratic Party for throwing him out there knowing he could just die right there on the campaign trail. They don't really care. They're all about power and everything else. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on with John Fetterman being sent to the hospital yet again? Possibly another stroke. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is shameful. Shameful at best to have that man out there knowing what kind of condition he is in. It's terrible. I'm not sure he's going to make it 6 years. I'm not saying he's going to die. I mean, obviously that could happen, but I think he's going to have to retire. And I'm not sure what the process is. Does a governor appoint a senator to replace him? I have no idea what the process is, but he probably won't make it the entire 6 years. But again, the Democrats don't care. They put out Joe Biden knowing that he was pretty much on his last leg. Okay. He is just the same as Fetterman when it comes to the mental situation. They don't really care. They just put you out there to gain that power. They don't care about the humanity of a person. They don't care about a person's family, their health. That's not really important. Power over everything. As long as we beat Trump, as long as we beat Dr. Oz, I don't care about your health. If you croak on the campaign trail, so what? That's their mindset, and it's really disgusting, gross, and everything else I could say negative about it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.